Yo, what's up with y'all, man? It's JSR in the building. On the car for real. But I'm back day 2 on uh Bellerophon's Redemption. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get this joint back on track. But I'm here to talk about with y'all today is a topic that I've been meaning to talk about for a minute. I noticed this joint for like a good amount of time now, a couple years. But the death of industries, they specifically the movie industry. I'm probably going to talk about the music industry one day too, but the death of the industries in general, but specifically the movie industries, right? So the movies that we be going to see in theaters from these companies like Fox, Warner Brothers, Universal, shit like that. Yeah, they about done. They about dead. Especially in TVs too. But I'm gonna stick to movies right now. I might throw TV in there actually, but it's all dead. And the reason why it's all dead is because point blank period. Like these people that these that run those companies that push these movies, like they got new individuals in there now that aren't creative. They're just not creative. They don't know how to make good movies anymore. And here's why though. So whether you like it or not, these movies and shows be based upon astrology. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. Whether you believe in astrology or not, understand it or not, that's what they on. And I'm gonna prove it right here. So, how they correlate movies and shows is based upon generations and these 3 planets right here. These 3 energies. I ain't even gonna call them planets for real. These 3 energies right here: Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus. Mainly Uranus and God dang it, Neptune. Pluto too is just more like Pluto be like like they'll base stuff around Pluto when it's like something that they really want to change. But you have Pluto movies that's got to do like social like deep movies about like how we should like go about like society, like deep stuff, like how we should really like change as a nation as a whole, or transform, not change, more like transform us into like what they want us to do for real. And it's kind of like those movies like are like the big movies, like or they're like the deeper movies like the Django, like how we need to transform our way of seeing things, like that kind of thing, like the deeper aspects of life. So it's like those are frequent, but not as frequent as Uranus and Neptune. Because Neptune really like that's the one they like using the most, because that's the Neptune deals with fantasy, illusion, and that's Hollywood and pictures and movies, entertainment as a general. So they love using Neptune as a concept to build a movie around, or utilizing that energy to even make a movie. Uranus too, because that deals with something unique and original. So that's where that's also a good spot for them to utilize for movies. And obviously Pluto, but that's more like a deeper, you get your what's a deep John? Goddamn, like I'm thinking about one, but those are like posts. Okay, damn, what's that movie? It was like Mississippi River, some shit like that. I forget what it's called, but it's dealing with like the times back in the 60s and 50s and 40s, where they was hanging people like they'll like them type of them deep movies. But I'm talking about like the Neptune and Uranus right now. I'm gonna get on Pluto too. I'm gonna touch that. But so basically, from 1984, right? 1984 to 1998 was when Neptune, like I said, the energy is fantasy, illusion, stuff like that, was in Capricorn. Now, when Neptune's in Capricorn, that means like how Capricorn is what you're known for, like your status, how you're seen, like your status basically, how others like know about you, like it could be your career, like stuff like that. Like think about like what a high-ranking career would mean to someone's status. It's like when you got like a high-ranking career, and that's what that'll be like something like you're known for, like, oh, that boy's a rapper, or oh, she's a great actress, like that's kind of how it is. That's not kind of, but that is how it is. So when Neptune is in Capricorn, you're known for being creative, or a visionary, or or you known for being like fantastic, fantasy and that kind of thing. So when that period of time in 1984 to 1998, that was when Capricorn was in. Neptune was in Capricorn. What also was in Capricorn during that time was, God dang it, Uranus. Uranus was in Capricorn from 1988 to 1996. Now, just given those years, I know what came out from 1988 to 1998. That's like every banger that we know today. Michael Jordan. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, Michael Jordan, so it got drafted in 1984. You feel what I'm saying? I think he retired in 1998. You see what I'm saying? Michael Jackson really took off. You see what I'm saying? Movies, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Back to the Future, Martin series. I'm just naming stuff that I know. Friends, Seinfeld. Like, you see what I'm saying? These are like the best versions of everything entertainment, movie, and TV show wise. And they still remaking these today just to capitalize off that time. Because that's a unique period. Like, when they were known, like, the secret boy, the boys. I'm gonna call them that. The boys were known for their creativity back then. Back from 1984 to 98, they were known for creativity. So we was all for them. Like, that was the time most people didn't have a problem with. They probably had a problem. I was born in 96, so I ain't going to speak on like I lived during that time. But I can imagine that people were very much distracted with those things. They were very much distracted with those things back then. I know the world, and that's probably when the world was the craziest, between gang violence and war and the government doing funny stuff and all this craziness was going on probably back then. But people had enough distraction between Back to the Future, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, Joe Montana, like, the list goes on. What else was back then? Like, Batman, the Michael Keaton John. Like, everything was popping when it came to entertainment and those kind of things. So, like, now they probably couldn't, realize what was going on. Like, nowadays, right? So Neptune is in Pisces right now. So that's where it likes to be, but that's where you can also, like, catch people being delusional. Like, when Neptune is in Pisces, like, your creativity is based upon possibly a delusion. You create, like, your fantasy, in which you're like, that energy, your fantasy, and your creativity is based upon, what you already have in the bag, what you already come with. So you're not known for it. It's just something you already have. So if you are already like a delusional person, that's what your creativity is going to be based upon. If you're already like someone who needs a straitjacket, who don't got their mind right, who, make up stuff all the time, that's what your creativity is going to be based on. It's not going to be backed and supported by your status. Like, your status won't be your creativity. Your creativity will be your delusion. That's what, Neptune and Pisces is. Not everybody delusional, though. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody delusional. But it's just not what you're going to be known for. It's going to be like your sidekick. Like somebody got to deeply get invested with you to know, like, oh, your creativity is like that, or, it's about that. But it's not something you're going to be known for. Whatever your 10th house type of stuff is, that's what you're known for. You know what I mean? So but the energy, as far as like what's in, that's like what's like your personal chart. The sky chart, when, Neptune from 1984 to 1998, when that's going on, that's basically, the 10th house for the sky. So when it's in Capricorn, that is the 10th house. So right now, it's not in Capricorn no more. So that's why we get these bum ass movies and bum ass shows. They really don't know. They're not known for that no more. They're not known for that. The boys ain't known for that. So that's why these Jones corny. What's really coming about, though, is, people coming up, with YouTube and things like that. They're starting to create the TV shows and movies for real on YouTube and stuff like that. But they're not. That's not what people are known for, though. People are not known for coming up with movies and TV shows. Even though YouTube is kind of like a TV show, but it's really like YouTube's really like the new TV, right? So everybody's forced to change their own, like, because Uranus, like the other planet I was talking about, other energy, which was in Capricorn from 1998 to 1996. And like I said, you know what was going on. So it was real unique. Like movies back then, 1998 to 96, was real unique and original. I mean, Child's Play came out. Scream came out during that time. Just a lot of unique Jones came out. And right now it's in tourist. So people are changing and coming up with new ways to gain stability and structure in their life. You know, that's what's changing now. That's what's unique. People got a unique way of gaining stability in their life, meaning TikTok, YouTube, other forms of media, Instagram, whatever, side hustles, starting up new businesses that never been out here, like stuff like that. Like these are all unique things that haven't been done before. That's now being done to gain stability and structure in one's life. That's what tourists is. That's that energy. So right now in the shadow government, they trying to change the way they gain structure and stability, but their way of changing is trying to recapitalize off the stuff from the 1980s, 90s, that kind of thing. So that's why a bunch of remakes, a bunch of old, outdated, and that's everything. Not even with movies, but I'm gonna take the movies right now. I'm gonna take the entertainment because that's what I know. That's what I realize. That's what I can speak on. You know what I mean? Because that's what I was into, and as a kid, I was all about entertainment and movies and TV shows. I wanted to be involved in that, but I realized that too late in my life. But that's besides the point right now. So like that's what it's on. So like when you can keep track of that and understand that the boys, the movie companies, they into astrology. Like they are. Like I could like literally prove it. Like I could prove it. Like I could tell you what Neptune and Capricorn mean and when it was in that sign. And then look at the world from that point. That's how you prove astrology is real. Like it's based upon what those two things mean when they come together. They'll tell you it's like a phrase or a concept, and then you take that concept and then you look at the time that concept was supposed to be there or it was supposed to be present, and you can't tell me you don't see it. Because like look, all right, Neptune in Pisces. What I say, you got the something popped up, but Neptune in Pisces. So that's where it's home at. So your creativity is based upon if you was in a delusion or not. But you're not known for it. It's just your creativity, right? So let's look at the world. Where is the movies, right? What is movies being based upon? What is movies being told? Like how is movies are? What are movies about now? Woke stuff, right? Movies are woke, so that's a delusion. Now tell me I'm lying. Tell me, like, think about it. What is wokeness? Like, when you say the movie or TV show is too woke, right? What are you saying? You're talking about stuff that's like made up. They're talking about stuff or trying to introduce stuff that's like they're trying to push a narrative that we don't agree with. Why don't we agree with? It don't make sense. What's a delusion? A delusion is something people is like they got their on their mind or they're on their heart that don't make sense. That don't got nothing to do with reality. They don't got nothing to do with what's actually real and what's not real. So TV shows and movies be pushing agendas about what wokeness or how one writer or director feels about stuff that don't connect with the people that's watching these movies. So that's a delusion. That's a delusion. Like you talking about something that we don't see every day. You talking about something that ain't real in reality. You trying to push, this, that, and the third. But when we go outside, we don't see this, that, and the third. We see people like not acting like that. We see people trying to push that away. We see people like not wanting to watch that kind of stuff. Like you trying to do stuff that don't make sense. That's what a delusion is. That's what Neptune at. So you can't say like, no, that's not why. That's what they build their movies on. They don't build their movies on like that's just what they on. If they was in a delusion, that's what that's what they're building their movies on. When at the time of Neptune and Capricorn, that's when they was hot. That's when they was real hot. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what they were like known for. They were using their creativity. Now, the reason why they was able to do it so well and other people, I can't speak for the 80s and 90s. Like I said, I was born in 96. So, but I'm saying like the reason why the boys would point out movies like that, and it wasn't somebody like out the woodworks coming up with movies like that. Like, somebody like in a suburban community or something like that just making up a movie that be hot, which they could have done for real. Because that was the time to do it. But The reason why it was just them doing it is because they know they're so much more deep in astrology than the average individual, that they know how to like tap into these energies and get the full potential out. So they know how to tap into Neptune better than, somebody who don't believe in astrology. They know how to tap into their creativity better than somebody that don't believe in astrology. And when it's the time to do it, like when you tapping it into it in a Capricorn type of way, when you trying to, make it your status, you're trying to put it to the forefront, trying to make that like trying to build off of that, trying to build off of your creativity. And when Neptune is in Capricorn, that's when it's going to pop the hardest. Now they trying to build their creativity off of their delusions, and this is when it's not being reciprocated the same way. It's not, they're not getting that same love no more when you try to build your creativity and your fantasy based upon a delusion, based upon something that ain't real. So that's when, think about a person like that in real life. Say a person who you know in your personal life tried to build creativity like music or art or whatever, try to build creativity and fantasy off of their delusion. You're gonna be like, this joint whack. Like, why you like, what is this? That's the kind of things you're gonna think and say. You're gonna be like, what is that? What is this? Like, this don't make no sense. Like, if you did something else, boom, 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 it would have probably been more, it would have been bouncier, it would have been jumping. But that's how that joint work. And just take a look, So I already talked in Uranus, right? Uranus, that's changing and rebelling and uniqueness. Well, not rebelling. Well, yeah, rebelling, but on a negative end. Rebelling on a negative end, change on a positive end. Unique change on the positive end, rebel and opposing and ghosting on the negative end. So when Uranus was in 1998, 96, they was coming up with a whole bunch of uniqueness. Like, that was a very unique time, technology included, especially technology. There was a bunch of unique technology back then. Like, I think that was the birth of cell phones, if I'm not mistaken. I think from 1998, somewhere in there, 1998 to 1996, cell phones was born. It was somewhere in that time. Even if it was like a couple years before, 90, maybe 86 or something like that. They were just in that mode. That's a transition. So planet or energies, it is not like if it go from one sign to another. It's not like a light switch where it's like on and off. So like it could be a transition. You could do something. Let's say like right now, Neptune in Taurus, and let's say it was towards the end of Taurus. You could do something towards the end of Taurus that's predicated towards the Gemini, when Taurus going to Gemini. I mean, not Taurus going to Gemini. Uranus, when Uranus going to Gemini. You could do something when Uranus is in Taurus that's for, or that represent, not for, but represent Taurus. Why I keep saying Taurus? Uranus in Gemini. Like, because it's a transition. It's a transition. So when it's like the late stages of a sign, it's starting to, blend with that next sign that's about to come into it. So if you really good how they is, you can do something like that where you could come up with something that's representative of what's soon to come, the energy that's coming up next. So I believe 1986, 88, somewhere in there, cell phone. I should look this up. But I'm pretty sure that it was like between those times. I'm pretty sure people who lived in that time, or even if you look it up right now, it's most likely going to be between 86 and 88 or later when cell phones came up. So like it was real unique. It was a real changing of the times during that time. So right now it's in Taurus. So like everybody, you can see it. People changing their way and coming up with unique ways and rebelling. That's why so Taurus been in keep on saying Taurus. Uranus been in Capricorn since like 2018, 19. So what was going on in 2020, 21, 22 when Uranus was in Taurus like the whole time? People was rebelling Uranus against what? They was rebelling against the ways they was gaining stability and safety and structure. What is that? Jobs. That's when they said they had the great reset, the change, reset, change. They had the great reset. People were quitting their jobs and trying to start their own business, trying to start their own, thing to get paid, to get money, to gain stability, Taurus, structure, security. They were changing that. They were rebelling against their jobs, quitting, trying to start a YouTube page or their own business. their own unique, Uranus unique way of gaining some stability. You see it in the world. So that's how you know astrology real. That's how you know anything real. If you could think about or trying to do something, let's say you're trying to build a house, you're trying to, you got a blueprint. Only way you know it worked if you build it and it don't collapse or it don't, you know what I mean? You don't have problems, stuff like that. Like that's how you know anything real. So like if you think astrology real, just go test it out. You know what I mean? But that's my bit on, why movies ain't jumping. Like, so don't think it's about to jump anytime soon. Like, when I guess you would have to say, like, if Neptune going Aries, but Neptune and Aries, they don't really get along like that. They cool, but it's not the time for entertainment. When Neptune going to Aries, your creativity got to be based upon, something brand new, something something that is being birthed for the first time, something that like it's more like it's more about your passions, your desires, stuff like that. Like what you passionate about. That's what your uniqueness going to be based on. I mean, not your uniqueness, your creativity. Creativity, my fault. I'm mixing up Uranus and just about every damn thing. I'm mixing it up. But I know what I'm talking about. I'm just mixing it up right now. My fault. But yeah, your creativity is going to be based upon your passion, your desire, which you're you're determined, what you like are determined about, what you like really like are passionate about, what you going for, something like that's what it's going to be based off of. And if you passionate about something that you shouldn't be passionate about, that don't make no sense, then that's what your creativity is going to be. And then you're going to be making mistakes like that too, because Aries is like, it's fast, it's baby energy. So it's like you're going to be doing it not knowing that's your problem. That is a problem. But if you are passionate about something that's could gain some traction, that that makes sense, that's where your creativity is going to be based on, and that's when something new Aries new could be brought to the scene. But the boys, if they passionate about trying to relive the 80s and 90s and try to get our attention and try to get our money and shit like that from those kind of energies, then this is when they gonna be playing the fool. Aries also is correlated, tarot to the fool card. So they gonna be looking like a damn fool if they try to recap on these dumb ideas or these dumb passionate things that they into. And I know what they passionate into. They passionate into like I ain't gonna go into it, but they passionate into like doing dumb stuff. That's what they passionate into, dumb stuff, doing like real dumb stuff, and just baby stuff. They passionate into that. So all their uniqueness not uniqueness, all their creativity and the things they try to pump out, all the entertainment factors is gonna be based upon built off dumb stuff. We're gonna see we're gonna have a whole new way of viewing the boys when they try to push their entertainment based upon that dumbass stuff they passionate about. That's when Neptune going to be in Aries when it get there. It's still in Pisces. It's going to be in Pisces for a minute, so it ain't going to be tomorrow, next week, next month. This is like, so you see how long Neptune was in Capricorn, 1984 to 98. 1984 to 98. That's how long it's going to be in Pisces, like 10, 12 years, shit like that. So I'm talking about like 15, 20 years down the line, but you probably even won't remember that. But just know right now, they building their fantasy and their creativity off of their delusions, what they lost into as the boys. And Uranus, obviously, they're trying to restructure a new way to gain stability. So that's why you're coming up with new kind of like Amazon and all these new kind of concepts of getting paid and how to work and schedules and shifts and all these like different types of things, even like more leniency and things like that, just in different ways. But it's they always try to do the same thing they've been doing, just try to regroup it in whatever these planets are at right now between Neptune, Uranus, and also Pluto too. I didn't talk about Pluto, but Pluto is a deep one. Pluto is in, I want to say, it's in Aquarius right now. Pluto's in Aquarius, so it was in Capricorn, not in the 80s though. It was in Capricorn just recently. It just got in Aquarius like a year or two ago. But that was when we were changing it. Now that's the deep stuff. So when Pluto was in Capricorn, that's when we was changing our status, changing the status quo, changing the traditions, like changing like this is when right in the smack middle of the Great Reset. Like all these planets was in like Capricorn for a minute, in Uranus. I mean, in Aquarius, and this is when you're changing. Well, when big changes was going on between Pluto and Uranus, but specifically right now Pluto, it just came out of Capricorn. Now it's going into Aquarius, so you're going to see a bunch of stuff that's changing the way like how people communicate. It's changing the way like this is the time where metaverse started trying to come in. Like it's not changing, transforming the way how to communicate, transforming how you're conduct yourself in the public arena. So you're gonna be seeing a lot of that from them. But that's not really heavy in movies. That's more heavy in like politics. Like Pluto is really heavy in politics. You'll see it in movies, but it won't be like the blockbusters like how Neptune will have it or Uranus will have it. It will be like something like a calm joint, like Titanic or something, which was a blockbuster hit. But it'll be like, you know what I mean? It'll be like calm, like The Notebook, shit like that. Like deep movies that's like for like it's like real like slow, quiet, calm joints, but they're deep though, real deep shit, like those kind of movies. But yeah, but for the most part, they're based upon Uranus and Neptune, and now we're seeing like what the shadow government got, and they don't really got shit. I said the shadow government, but that's what it is with the boys. They don't really got shit for us, so it's up to us to make the new TV shows and movies. And even then, we're not gonna be known for it, but it'll still be like if someone got good creativity, it'll be creative, it'll be different. You know what I mean? It'll be something that's like, oh shit, like that's different from anything I've seen before. Like even if you know what I mean. So that's but they just won't be known for it. Like they'll be known for it. Like let's say like a YouTuber. Like you'll know them for being a YouTuber, and they create all kinds of content. From they just do like story times or skits and stuff like that. But they're known for being just being a YouTuber though. They're not really known for being like a creative, fantastical, fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not like in that kind of realm of fantasy and creativity. They're not known for that. They're not like coming up with like blockbuster, around the world hits. That you know what I mean? They're just their creativity is based upon how creative they are. And they're very creative. They be like, oh shit, they funny as shit, or they fun as shit, or they cool as shit. But they won't be like known for. You'll know them for like being a TikToker or whatever their persona is. And they just so happen to be creative in another area like skits or something like that. And that's how that shit go. But yeah, don't be looking for any hot movies anytime soon. For real, for real. You better off starting a YouTube movie or something, or a TikTok movie, or you know what I mean. You get your bunch of your buddies or community people who got cameras and who know how to write a script, who got some props and stuff, and just make a movie. And you probably make a better movie than the boys right now. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just wanted to rap with y'all about that. And yeah, these movies and TV shows ain't shit. Just know that.